I decided I've been watching too many good movies lately. So I thought, I should balance it out by torturing myself with all the Marvel movies. I never watched all of them in order before, and I thought, from checking them out, I might as well rank them while I'm at it. It made the most sense to me to review and tier them in chronological order, just for flow. So anyways, let's just jump right into it. Right away, I'll say Robert Downey Jr. is fantastic at playing Iron Man. Everybody already knows this, I'm not saying anything new here, I'm basically just saying water is wet. But beyond some hype moments and aura, I feel as though there is little substance here. Sure, I think Tony's arc is pretty solid, it's pretty simple but effective. He's blinded by all the glamour of his riches and he gets woken up by the corruption he wasn't paying attention to. It works pretty well here, but I mean the plotline that causes this is pretty cheeks. He's in a cave for 3 months to build a missile for these guys, but he was actually secretly building an Iron Man suit right in front of their faces. They realize the missile he's been working on for months kinda looks like a suit he could use to kill them all, and they give him 24 hours to finish the missile. And they just completely stop monitoring him. Don't you think that'd be a pretty pivotal moment to keep watch on the guy? He obviously kills them all, but this guy dies in the process, and it's so sad. That, what was his name again? Oh yeah, Dr. Ho Yinsen. Yeah, this guy's my favorite character, and I genuinely got super choked up here. After this is when the villain shifts from the bald foreign dude into the bald American dude. I think that was a pretty great move. I mean, the first guy was so stock, and the bald American dude being evil actually ties into the plot and Tony Stark's development. But make no mistake, bald white dude is still pretty bad. He was kind of cool at first, but then turned into a full-blown schlocky villain at the end. Overall, this movie was just kind of mid. It's fun and only really drags at the beginning. Still an enjoyable movie that I could watch again. This one's like a 6 out of 10. The Incredible Hulk. Wow, what a disaster of a movie. This movie actually made me so mad my skin turned green, and instead of turning into the Hulk, I just threw up everywhere. Because it made me nauseous. Everything about this movie is either boring or stupid. It's butt booty ugly, and the first hour is just Bruce Banner running. And somehow, his wimpy ass is faster than cars. I can't even really say anything good about this. Bruce Banner is more like the Incredible Sulk here, and when he does transform, all he does is smash and throw cars. I feel like my biggest complaint is that this movie is too dark and broody, yet it's playing it super safe in regards to Hulk action. This is made for kids, but would kids actually like this? The Betty character is so trash. Her whole character and personality is that she loves Bruce, yet we're never shown why. I feel like the film would be much better if we're given some context of the relationship and then show the big attack that ruined Bruce Banner's life. But instead, they completely ruin what could have been one of the most dramatic scenes of the whole film by completely glossing over it in the intro credit sequence. Which is such an insane decision for an origin story movie by skipping over the most important part of the character's origin. But I guess we need more time dedicated to Bruce bottling and bleeding into pickle juice. The main antagonist is boring and cliche. All his involvement does is slog down this movie even more with long military talking scenes. All of this only for it to culminate into an ugly CGI fight where instead of one Hulk is smashing a car, it's now 2. Bravo. This one is getting a 1 out of 10.
Just like the wind, I've always been.
Iron Man Boy Man 2 is definitely a lot weaker than the first one. Rhodey's character got completely butchered in this movie. This guy cannot de-escalate a situation to save his life, and that makes me question why he's even such a high rank in the military. He destroys Tony Stark's house, steals his suit, modifies it, and then takes it onto display at a weapons expo for applause? Like, this guy's ego is massive. What happened to his character? Also, I really hate the recast. Don Cheadle does not look the part, bro. I'm so sorry. I really liked the plotline where Iron Man's blood was getting poisoned. That was pretty interesting. Only for it to be solved in 2 seconds. Iron Man just says, "Jarvis, turn the houses on my dad's map into blue balls." Urethra. I created a new element. Like, the payoff was pretty lame. Also, the ending action scene was kind of interesting at first. then quickly loses steam when you realize the robots are literally just shooting cars, walls, and the sky. And that scene where the little Iron Man was going to shoot the robot, but the real Iron Man shoots it for him was so corny and out of place. It legit felt like this was a scene only to be included for a trailer or something. It does get kind of cool when Iron Man and War Machine were shooting all the robots in the dome area, but overall pretty lame movie. I will say that Sam Rockwell's performance and character were pretty good, and I liked him a lot more than Whiplash. Whiplash is kind of just an evil Russian guy that drinks vodka, because that's what was popular at the time. His whip was pretty cool though. This is kind of a side note, but when I was watching this I noticed Jon Favreau wrote himself into a scene where Scarlett Johansson flips him over and has him in some sort of leg lock where her feet with no socks or shoes are in his face. And he's in another scene where she's getting undressed.
I know what kind of man you are, John. I bet he did a couple extra takes just to get those scenes perfect. You sicken me, bro.
This one's getting a 4 out of 10.
Fly me to the moon and let me play among the
Thor was whatever. Probably the best action so far for a Marvel movie, but Thor's character arc is so lame. He just becomes good for like no reason at all. He was gonna legit genocide the ice people and didn't even care for his friends that got hurt because of his actions. And this completely changes when his dad dies. He tucks Natalie Portman in, makes everyone breakfast, and is willing to die for others. This character switch is so poorly written and happens within like 5 hours in story time. Also, look at those eyebrows. The final battle was bleh, but whatever. Movie logic, I guess. The robot is not going to actually vaporize anyone like he did to the ice people, but he will blow up a lot of cars though. Wow, that sure is a lot of dead cars. And oh hell nah, not the 7-Eleven. That was my favorite character, dude. What the hell? Not gonna lie, some of the fish out of the water scenes are pretty okay, and I thought when Thor couldn't pick up his hammer and he screams and shits and pisses his pants, that was pretty funny. Also, not to be that guy, but all the women must have been written by my uncle or something. They have barely any motivation or character aside from liking men. Natalie Portman at the end just uses all of her science research she cares so much about, just for Thor take. Looking at the bright side of things, at least it's not the Incredible Hulk. This one's like a 3 out of 10. I like this movie a lot as a kid, and it holds up pretty well on rewatch. I thought the action was all pretty good here, and I was genuinely surprised at how gory some scenes were, seeing how tame the Marvel movies have been so far. They're straight up blending people. The main villain's face gets punched off, and this grandma gets shot and killed. This Captain America shit gets serious. Captain America is a pretty decent lead, and I liked his relationship with Peggy. Gulp. I hope that's not an innuendo. Stanley Tucci is the GOAT, and his character here was very likable. Also, the dude from Medea Goes to Jail is here too. That's ball knowledge. Some things I was just whatever on was the bully character. Nothing really happens with that plotline, and the Colonel hating on Captain America felt a little bit lazy. He just keeps on hating him after Stanley Tucci's death for pretty much no reason. Then when he goes against his order to save the soldiers, he immediately starts liking him, even though he was shown to have a big ego, and is pretty petty. So that felt kind of rushed. I think overall, this is just a likable movie that kind of overstays its welcome smidge. This one's like a 6 out of 10. I of course watched this in theaters when it came out, and I obviously liked it, so I was kind of stoked to check this one out again after so many years, but unfortunately, it's a little bit doo-doo. Bruce, for some reason, can just control Hulk form now. It's especially weird comparing it to how moments before this, Bruce trauma dumps on the whole squad about trying to kill himself because he has no control. Good thing that didn't work out because his issue gets solved in like 5 seconds. This was very rushed and distracting. Also, speaking of rushed, the squad's random camaraderie felt kinda out of place to me too. They're so in sync, Iron Man is shooting lasers at Captain America to deflect with no warning. They hate each other and met legit 5 hours ago. It's such a high risk with no reward, but I guess it's aura farming or something that Iron Man almost shot Captain America's cock off. I also feel as though Thor's character is very out of place here. All these guys' powers are all skill-based or science-based, so when you throw a literal god of thunder on the squad, the power balance is all thrown off. Thor almost soloed a whole race of people in his movie, beat the Hulk, and we're over here watching Hawkeye shoot arrows. I'm pretty sure Thor could almost solo all the boring, gray, and uninteresting aliens, and it would cut like 30 minutes of runtime. I mean, look at how trash these aliens are. They shoot Captain America, only once mind you, and it did virtually nothing to him. I mean, his durability is still that of a normal man. And in this same movie, one dude with a gun is enough to put him in a pickle. This whole final fight scene feels so unimportant, and the most dangerous attack wasn't even from the aliens, it was from the government. I did really like some of the earlier scenes like Iron Man vs. Thor. I think the movie's action is at its strongest when the battles are smaller scale, and I liked seeing all the superheroes interact and argue with each other, even if the dialogue was pretty cringe sometimes. Really kind of just a nothing movie if you think about it. This one's getting a 4 out of 10.
God is not far. God is not far away.
Iron Man 3 was pretty good, and it was definitely the most fun I had with a Marvel movie so far. I really liked Iron Man's dynamic with the kid, and when Iron Man starts having realistic panic attacks, I was praying that it would not be super corny. But I think overall, it's played pretty cool. The kid basically makes fun of Iron Man and is trolling him when they happen. I thought they were pretty funny together. I also thought the Mandarin guy being an actor was a pretty cool subversion. It was kind of refreshing that Iron Man wasn't really in his suit all that much either. It's now more character focused, and that led to a good variety of action scenes as well. He's fighting the lava girl in the bar and making new weapons on the fly to take over that mansion. Again, these Marvel movies are a lot better when things are on a smaller scale, in my opinion. I still hate Rhodey. Despite the dialogue being pretty funny and likable for the most part, War Machine's lines are all cringe, like,
You breathe fire? Okay.
when he was genuinely geeking about to shoot the Mandarin actor in the face. I cannot for the life of me believe he is a high-ranking military professional. And of course the ending with the obligatory over-the-top big CGI action scene with all the Iron Man suits. Legit, why did he not use this until the end? But I will say the end fight between Iron Man and the main lava dude was kinda cool, and it was pretty funny when Iron Man dropped Pepper when he promised her he wouldn't. Overall, pretty fun movie that occasionally falls victim to common Marvel movie tropes. I do like the storyline, but I'll be lying if I said it wasn't a little clunky. This one's getting a 6 out of 10. I literally do not care at all. I hate the Greek mythology aesthetic. I hate Thor as a character. And I hate how one note all these characters are. Just rehash the same lame fight between ice golems in the first movie, but make it dark elves instead and make their language blue blah bleedoodah. Even though they literally speak English and the main dark elf has an English enough name, so this is nothing more than a dumbass cliche. Also give Jane dark elf disease for some reason just to shove her into our plot because she needs to be here. That's fire. Jane slaps Loki and Loki goes,
I like her.
my eyes roll back into my foreskin so fast I got circumcised. Let's have Thor team up with Loki because we need him for a later film. Even though everyone already knows Loki will betray him, it's actually just so predictable and lame. Nothing about this is original or interesting. Oh no, Frigga died. My favorite Marvel character. No. I will admit, when watching this one, I got a little bit too drunk because the thought of watching this movie was seriously bumming me out. So if you want something to prove I'm dumb and biased, here it is, I guess. Because, like, I was barely even there for the final fight. The only thing I remember is that Kat Dennings kissed a guy because, of course, it's a Marvel movie. This one's getting a 1 out of 10.
Love we can share. Just you and I've been walking there.
I know everyone loves this movie for some reason, but I was surprised by how disappointed I was at this. Off rip, I'll say I like the hand-to-hand combat between Captain America and Bucky and how that was all choreographed. That was all good stuff. I also thought that the plotline where there were traitors within S.H.I.E.L.D. was a pretty good premise, but I feel as though this was severely squandered because as soon as you see the new white higher-up, you already know he's a Nazi. Not only was this super obvious, but he has no personality, no swag, and it's overall very forgettable. I feel like that's a running theme in this movie, no swag. Captain America is so dull here In the first movie, he's still kind of socially inept because he's an Omega Beta male at heart, and that made him feel more human. But here he has Riz? Bro, ew. He's just such a nothing character here. You could copy paste a random action hero and they would fit right in. And why is Black Widow non-stop quipping? When was that ever in her nature? This movie was 2 hours and 16 minutes long, and you can definitely feel the length. Pause. All these people do is yap, and it's so boring. Everything with the action scenes, aside from the hand-to-hand combat, was boring. It legit feels as though all these characters have Omega plot armor with how little consequence anything has. Can someone please stop shooting directly into Captain America's shield? Please! There's probably like 1 million guns in this movie, and people only get shot like 10 times. And even then, it doesn't even matter. The only death wasn't real, Black Widow gets shot and it's just ignored. Not to mention the laser that just teleports the protagonists from any and all danger. Also, look at Bucky dodging the spread fire machine gun by spinning. It just takes all the stakes out of these fights. And in this thriller, at the end, when this guy is trying to make this dork launch some ships and it turns into a shootout with these two individuals standing and shooting at each other, nothing happens to either of them, and they just let him hack the computer anyways. Can someone please just get shot or, shoot the guy doing the really bad thing you're trying to stop? Wow, this thriller is sure thrilling. For example, in the first film, shooting guns had some weight to it. People actually die. Who is this goober, and why is everyone allowing him to live? Also, why did Hydra make Bucky their super soldier? It seems like having someone against your goals to be your main dude, kinda counterproductive, but go off. And I find it very hard to believe this dude slowly walking around with a grenade launcher is like the biggest threat to humanity. But I guess he does have an absurd amount of iframes on his role, so I don't know. Overall, for what could have been so badass, this is so boring, lame, bland, dull, generic, not funny, boring and lame, and stale, especially in comparison to the original. The elevator scene was cool though. This is a 3 out of 10.
God has spoken. So let the church say amen.
Finally, a Marvel movie that had me giggling. I knew I'd love this movie before rewatching. When I was a kid, I legit bought the soundtrack and listened to it constantly. I normally get consumed with chud rage when I hear licensed music in a movie, but it actually ties into Star-Lord's character, and the songs are all pretty good, so I actually give it a pass. This is the only Marvel movie where the whole cast is swag and funny, and in their own unique way, too. Instead of all the characters eventually all becoming homogenized into Joss Whedon's quips. Star-Lord is kind of like Iron Man, but he's dumb and white trash, and I think Chris Pratt plays that very well. He's not a badass, but he's trying really hard to be, and that's fun. Despite him kind of being the straight man in the cast, he still shines and is a great lead. Gamora is cool. She's not a big personality like the rest of the cast, but she works well and is important for the plot. And while the romance is nothing spectacular in the grand scheme of things, the scene where Star-Lord and Gamora almost kiss is far more sweet and believable than any other Marvel romance, even if the song playing is doing some heavy lifting. Groot is chill. His bit gets kind of repetitive, but the scene where they're discussing the plan to break out of the jail, and he just does it without them, is an all-timer. And when he slams all those dudes back and forth in the corridor, it was funny. But him saying "We are Groot" was a little cringe, and him literally selling his soul to become a marketable baby Yoda minion was by far the worst part of the whole movie. Rocket is great. I really like his line about how everyone has dead people. I feel like I need Rocket to randomly show up in other movies just to say this to whichever character is having a melodramatic, lame monologue. And I really like how his past is always brought up but never delved into in great detail. A lesser Marvel movie would have him crying, explaining everything, really milking this for all it's worth, but here that's just a part of him. I don't know. I respect it. Drax is awesome and calls Gamora a whore, and that's really funny. I mean, there's still classic Marvel cliches here, like all other Marvel movies, but I am far more forgiving here because the characters are all great and genuinely feel real. Or maybe it's the nostalgia talking, who knows. This is a strong 7, but I'll give it an 8 because I'm feeling generous. While I appreciate some cool foreshadowing with Captain America almost picking up Thor's hammer, I can't help but feel actually punished for watching the previous 10 films. My bad, bro. I thought these were supposed to be better with more lore and context. Iron Man at the end of Iron Man 3 realizes he's using all these Iron Man suits as a coping mechanism and finds inner strength, and is no longer using them as a crux. Iron Man and Age of Ultron. We have to make the Earth an Iron Man suit. I'm totally fine with Tony regressing. I think that could be interesting and realistic to see with intent. But here it's just blatantly obvious this is just because it's a different writer. Like Wanda showing him some AI generated fake future is enough to undo his whole arc from the third movie. Okay. Hulk literally gets butchered by every script. Apparently he has regressed and is still unstable when angry. Yet this is never shown. He legit has full control in the first Avengers. Captain America is giving him full on commands and he does whatever is asked of him. And he does the exact same thing here. The only thing that made him lose control was Wanda messing with his brain. But here he can't have a family because the writers don't know what to do with him, so let's force melodrama. And that extremely forced romance between Hulk and Black Widow is so awful. She's apparently the only one to calm him down. Betty, come get your mans, please. I also still hate this quippy version of Black Widow. Ultron is the coolest villain so far in a Marvel movie, and actually has personality, but I'm not gonna lie, he's not very intimidating. Sure, he has a couple cool scenes where he cuts the guy's arm off, and he does that cool fake out where he destroys his old body, but in the action scenes, he legit just sucks. His beams do nothing, straight up hitting Captain America with tickle beams. He's basically still a normal dude, bullets still kill him, this should be doing more. You could say maybe it's because Iron Man's tech that they're doing nothing, but even this blast didn't even kill this girl, so I don't know. You know you fucked up when Clit Fartin, aka Hawkeye, is the best protagonist here. 4 out of 10.
Everybody's gotta learn sometime.
There's so much expository dialogue at the start. Why is everyone explaining Ant-Man's past to him so much? Also, Dr. Pym, when talking to his daughter who hates him at the start, says, "Can you not just be a little nice to me, daughter?" Very subtle. All the character arcs are giving ChatGPT. Yeah, I clocked it. Ant-Man is down on his luck and he just wants to be with his daughter. Is someone cutting onions in here, or is it just me? And Dr. Pym and his daughter's issues are so blech. Hope, you're like 40, bro. You just gotta get over yourself. And she kinda just does. The conflict gets solved like right away, so who cares? Ant-Man starts fucking with Dr. Pym's suit for like no reason at all. What is even the goal? Oh, it's so Dr. Pym can come in and say, "You can't do that. You'll go subatomic." Kinda like my gulp wife. Just so you know, Ant-Man is gonna have to do this later in the movie. The fact people get paid bank to write this unclever slop, basically plagiarized by how formulaic it is, could actually give me a brain bleed. It's one of the most stock and by the numbers plot lines ever. That means Ant-Man is gonna have epic sex with Hope. Yes! Yes! This void's only reason for existence is to be with a man. Just like it should be. The Marvel CEO probably said that, not me. The humor is the most he's right behind me. It's been so far. Even the movie doesn't care about all this melodrama, constantly undercutting these moments with epic quirk chungus lines. It's all very eye-roll worthy. As much shit as I'm giving this movie, at least it's not boring like the Hulk or any Thor movie. Some of the action scenes are pretty cool, and that's really all I have to say that's positive. Like Ant-Man, they should have shrunk the budget to subatomic levels. And just not made this, I guess. I don't know. 3 out of 10.
A stick, a stone, it's the end of the road. It's feeling alone.
This is one of the other movies I was stoked to watch. While the 2.5 hours go by pretty fast, and it's a pretty fun movie, I still feel like I wish there was more to it. I feel as though this whole premise of the world hating the Avengers because some people die in like an alien invasion, super forced and not that interesting. Because if the Avengers didn't do what they could to save everyone on Earth, they literally all just die. So these people kind of seem a little ungrateful. I wish the drama was more intense between Cap and Iron Man and spawn between them instead of the government being included. And man, even though Iron Man is like literally objectively in the wrong, I cannot side with Captain America. I fucking hate him. And I liked him a lot in the first movie, okay? You can't say I'm just hating. Legit, his whole character is wanting to save Bucky, look out windows, and have sex with his dead girlfriend's niece. Man, I don't know, this guy is just lame. Look at his eyes light up at Peggy's funeral when she says she's her niece.
But I just knew her as Aunt Peggy. She had a photograph in her office.
I feel as though this beef could be over with the discussion, but Captain America literally just doesn't feel the need to de-escalate anything. Like, does Tony even know the government was filled with Nazis literally yesterday? It kind of seems like he wasn't aware of that, and it would be a good argument. Whatever, they all get into a big fight, and this could be awesome, but it just goes on too long. And again, where are the stakes? Legit, no one gets knocked out of the fight at all, taking all the impact and weight out of the fight. Even Hawkeye and Black Widow are not taking this serious at all. The only dude who got hurt was Rhodey, and like, honestly, who cares? The ending bit between Captain America, Bucky, and Tony was kind of interesting. I thought Iron Man going full bloodlust was kind of out of character, just so the movie can make a point. I don't know. The fight choreography was pretty good though. This one's like a 4 out of 10. Doctor Strange is many things, but Strange is not one of them. At the start of the movie, I was kind of intrigued. Doctor Strange was just a massive asshole, and you know, I kind of respected it a little. I really thought this would maybe deviate from the Marvel formula. I mean, this motherfucker is named Strange. This shit gotta go crazy. But, I don't know, he just gets whatever he wants. He's just the best at anything ever. And I feel like he never actually learns anything. He constantly breaks all these sacred rules, and everyone just keeps giving him chance after chance. Like, I just wish someone would tell him no and mean it. But he's like destined for greatness or something. How lame. The movie doesn't really have time to give him an arc for some reason, so they just leave him on a mountain for 2 minutes and that's good enough. And he also really likes music, guys. Just like Star-Lord. We can now play Beyonce music. Hell yeah, Doctor Strange loves Beyonce and all other pop music you guys like. It's tied into his character, bro. This is good.
What do you want, Strange?
Beyonce.
You're not ready for that.
And while I like some of the visuals, like when Ballwoman punched Doctor Strange out of his body and he touches a butterfly in space and starts flying, they never do anything this interesting ever again, unfortunately. Like, I hope you like a shittier version of Inception and visually cluttered action scenes. Dormammu is so goddamn pathetic. He just one-shots Doctor Strange for 2 minutes and gets bored and abandons his one and only goal, and I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Mordo becoming evil at the end was so brain dead stupid. Doctor Strange easy 1v1s him, so instead of bullying someone on his level, he beats up a cripple and somehow thinks he's doing something good. Also, Doctor Strange gets his Marvel mandated girlfriend, but this time I don't get a boner. Fuck you. Who actually cares? I could probably say more, but I think I'd die from a brain bleed trying to do so. 3 out of 10. When I watched this in theaters, this shit slapped, dude. And while on this dreadful marathon, Guardians is like my safe point, so I was again excited to revisit this. Unfortunately, it's not quite as good as I remember. I feel like the humor is more Quirk-Chungus Marvel than the first, although it is still funny. Drax is still awesome, and his laugh is great. They spam that shit, and for good reason. And I feel as though the final act fight scene drags on way too long. The worst part of the movie by far is baby minion Yoda Groot. All that stuff is cringe, and all his bits take far too long. None of it is funny, and whatever. Please bring back Epic Groot, please. I really liked the plot. I think all the father issue stuff was portrayed excellently and was very sweet. I do find it crazy how Guardians is the funniest Marvel series, and it also has the best emotional scenes as well. The quality is just so much higher than the rest of the MCU. Mantis is a great addition, and her dynamic with Drax is great. Maybe the Gamora and Nebula stuff was a little weaker than I'd like, but I'll give it a pass. I'm feeling a little generous. Pretty good. This is like a 7 out of 10.
Coffee man, takes a dump in a coffee can.
This movie was fine. It was kind of fun, and I really do appreciate the small scale of the movie. And that car scene being that tense came out of nowhere. Generally more of a thriller than the entirety of Captain America 2. This had potential to be way better, and I feel what's holding this back for me is that the movie is 2.5 hours long, and for what this is, that's pretty excessive. Like, maybe cut 2 of the 8 scenes he fights Vulture and loses. I don't know, it's a start. Not to mention Spider-Man acts like that one bike talk cringe guy, which kinda gives me the ick. But then, like, he just acts normal in the next scene or something. If he was doing this shtick the whole movie, this would actually be unwatchable.
Yes, but do we really need more action figures?
I only have 5 Spider-Man, but he's got like a mechanical arm. He's kind of cool.
I feel like the whole Peter is a social outcast was mishandled here. One scene, everyone's calling him Penis Parker. The next, the popular girl has a crush on him. It only really seems like that one dweeb no one likes is his only real detractor. I did like Peter Parker's friend. Out of all the lame sidekicks in the MCU, he's easily the best and is pretty fun. And he says he watches porn. He's watching porn.
Porn. Looking at porn. Porn.
He goes, I'm watching porn. Pretty standard movie overall. It's not as safe as Antman and aneurysm inducing as Doctor Strange. I also respect Spider-Man not getting with the girl. In the grand scheme of things, it's nothing, but for a Marvel movie, it's everything. Yeah, this is a pretty okay movie. This is like a strong 5 to a 6 out of 10, but I don't know. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Why not?
You want to take another whack at that one, sis?
You must die!
Thor Ragnarok is the best Thor movie. Too bad they all suck though. The intro sequence was perchance one of the most cringe scenes I have ever seen. And I watched Ant-Man, so that's pretty impressive. Everything from the Thor spinning around gag, to the Shrek 3 song, to the epic Shake Weight reference in 2017 was so god awful, dude. Also, Jack's Films already fucking did that like 5 years before you guys. Pack it up. I've seen people pissing and shitting over the Screaming Goats in Love and Thunder, but I haven't seen the same energy towards the Shake Weight joke. Anyways, Thor's dad dies like the turtle from Kung Fu Panda, and that introduces Hela as the main villain. I thought she was overall pretty good. I really wish she had more screen time, but unfortunately they had to build up the bald Shake Weight guy for some reason. He's not even relevant to the story, like at all. You can remove him and the movie is the same, if not arguably better. Spoilers, bald dude dies and like who actually cares? You give the fucking Shake Weight guy a whole arc, that means less than nothing when you could have used that time, I don't know, building up Thor's evil sister. Kinda seems more important to me, but I don't know. These raiders should go on strike so they get paid even more.
Some Midgard called Texas. Sauce. I even named them. Des and Ass. You see, when you put them together, Ass.
I thought the Pegasus girl was pretty cringe. When she was introduced drinking like a freaking badass, it was so corny. We see her tragic backstory and Hela one-shot all the Pegasus girls, but somehow she's holding her own against Hela at the end. Oh, I forgot. It's the end of a Marvel movie, and Hela has to lose now. Also, let's play the Shrek 3 song again. That sounds like a good idea. Hulk was easily the best he's ever been in a Marvel movie, which isn't saying a lot. And he's actually probably the best part of this movie, which is saying like slightly more. Yeah, he's just a big dumb asshole, which is kind of awesome. I really wish the movie was more gory. Hulk literally beats the shit out of Thor and does a drop down punch on him from space, and there are no wounds to show this. I mean, like, at least add some makeup or something, guys. Come on. This felt very lazy to me. Blue Rockeye was just awful. I thought he was fine at first, but his bit got pretty old as the movie went on. But Jeff Goldblum, he was pretty good. I quite like him here. I like his personality, and I thought he was pretty funny. This is like a 4 out of 10.
Check it out, I'm in the house like carpet. And if there's too many heads in my blunt, I won't spark it, I'll put it in my pocket.
I don't know. It's just boring. At this point, it's pretty obvious I don't like Marvel movies that much, especially the origin stories. They're all the exact same movie. Black Panther is nothing special. He's just an action dude. He really doesn't do anything cool at all either, which can make up for the lack of personality. But all the action just actually sucks. Like the casino scene. Everyone has a gun and they're trying to kill someone who just has a spear. So what do? Oh, they just run up and try to punch her in the face for some reason. Oh, cool. And the car chase scene is just so bad. First, Black Panther is immune to bullets. We don't need to see him get shot at for nothing to happen. Like, it gets old pretty quickly. And second, bald spirit girl calling the gun people so primitive and awkwardly climbing on top of her car and just standing there while everyone's shooting her and then throwing the spear to kill them all. Like, I don't even gotta say anything. Killmonger was the best part of the whole movie, and while I appreciate the fights being more visceral in the tribal fights, I also thought the whole tradition was stupid as hell and maybe a little racist. Something about one of the most intelligent societies and they just kill each other for the role of the king, where it only benefits the strongest and most cruel people. It's kinda sus. A YouTube comment told me I cannot talk about such things because Tyler Perry has more money than me. So, sorry guys, I cannot elaborate further. So, maybe check out Not Funny Person's review on Letterboxd. This is the sponsor of the video. I have to legally disclose this, but it helps out the channel if you smash like on it, and also this video, and also smash subscribe as well. Ad read over. This is a very safe movie. It took me a while to even formulate my thoughts because right after this, I was just so neutral on everything. It was genuinely brain numbing. And while I can watch these movies and typically joke and make commentary, I was actually a mute watching this, and that's because nothing stands out really, aside from a couple bad scenes. All I really have to say is, what are those? This is a 4 out of 10.
Told them I was cheap as company, now they won't leave me alone. Now I got it thick and thin.
I randomly threw this movie on like a year after its release and somehow never gotten spoiled for the ending, and the movie just completely blew me away. And I was like, damn, why have I been skipping these movies for years? And at the time, I felt like even without the context of all the films, it was actually super good. Thanos is so awesome, the action is all done very well, and there are actually stakes in this movie. Holy smokes, dude. The power scaling is completely off here though. Why is Black Widow saving Wanda and Vision so much? You know, people with actual superpowers, Wanda fucking blows up an Infinity Stone with her mind, but Black Widow can kick pretty good, I guess. Bruce Banner is a complete joke in this movie. He gets power mogged by everyone, can't even use his powers, gets brain mogged by some 15-year-old because he's just stupid. Why didn't you do this? I forgot. He probably shit his pants right after the scene because he forgot not to do that too. And then when he goes out to fight, he then immediately trips and falls down like a fucking idiot. Maybe it would have been better if he just killed himself like he tried to do in Avengers 1. Also, the Doctor Strange saying in like a billion timelines there's only one way they win is so lame. It shuts down any what ifs and speculation because like, you're just wrong, dude. Star-Lord cracked the code. Just have a Soylent meltdown and they win. If that didn't happen, they lose every time. I have a theory that Doctor Strange is lying and it's an elaborate ploy to try to get Tony to kill himself because he dared talk back to him. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Whatever. I'm hating a lot, but I still love this movie. Thanos carries so hard and is such a good villain. And I love Iron Man and Star-Lord, not in a gay way, and seeing them interact was pretty rad. This is like an 8 out of 10. This is an 8 out of 10, yeah.
Ow! Ow! Boy, yep. Okay, this is getting the job done.
Ant-Man 2 was okay. The father-daughter stuff with Ant-Man was cute enough. The villain was interesting enough, and the action was good enough. The mom plot, however, was actual brain rot. Who writes this garbage? Like, Ant-Man getting possessed by the mom is so embarrassing. Someone thought of that and got paid for it. Let that sink in. Okay, what was the budget? $162 million? Dude, I could actually cry right now. I was really hoping as soon as they saved the mom, she got Thanos snapped or something, and we get to see Dr. Pym and Hope freak out, but no. This is a movie, and I genuinely just do not care at all. Also, this is the worst song out of any of the Marvel OST. It's straight up penis music. Fantastic use of the budget, guys. You're doing great. This is a 4 out of 10.
I crushed the alien. Well, I crushed the alien.
The incarnation of lame. Captain Marvel is a horrid amalgamation of popular characters in the MCU in a disgusting attempt to make a likable character at the last second before the conclusion. Seriously, what's unique about her? She's snarky and sarcastic like Iron Man. There's a ton of pop culture references like Guardians, but like, it doesn't even tie back to her character at all. She probably listens to like space music or some bullshit like that. Ant-Man also kind of falls victim to this, but at least Paul Rudd gives a good performance, and it's kind of funny. I seriously don't remember anything Captain Marvel says. She basically could have been a mute with how nothing her dialogue is. The plot is so nothing, like holy crap, the Skrulls are the good guys. Wow, I do not care at all. Also, why is only one of them Australian? And the setup for the flirkin was so obvious and lame, dude. Wow, this cute kitty is so cute. Oh my god, it's actually super strong. How do they come up with this stuff? It's also like when the Skrull turned into an old lady and was fighting Captain Marvel, like, haha, she's old. Haha. The only interesting thing this movie does that other Marvel movies haven't touched upon is feminism and misogyny and stuff. But it is so surface level that, like, I stepped on it and I say, ew, did I just step in dog shit? Oh no, that's actually Captain Marvel. I just stepped on Captain Marvel because it's so surface level, it's level to the surface. Wow. Where the commentary is, you know why they call it the cockpit. And smile more. And nothing more. That is actually it. Which, like, maybe the smile more guy wasn't even trying to be misogynistic, because right before she remembers she's akin to Jesus, she does this cringe ass Debbie Ryan, Homer Uchiha, half smile directly into the camera. So maybe he was just looking out for her. I don't know, it was kind of good advice. Whatever. The fakest feminism I've ever seen from a studio that consistently writes women to be objects for men to win at the end of movies. With a tired and recycled nostalgia bait aesthetic, recycled personality, lame powers, she just shoots blue and is boringly powerful. Who actually cares? I'm not even mentioning how her involvement in Endgame just makes that movie worse, because this is the Captain Marvel review and not the Endgame review. Also,
popular Letterboxd reviewer Lucy. Only you can see this part of the review. You give Joker a 1 out of 10 for being too shallow and on the nose with nothing interesting to say, yet you give this movie a 10 out of 10 on multiple occasions. I will give you 3 days to update your reviews for being so performative. You will be hearing from my attorneys otherwise. Uncle Phil 3436 signing out.
3 out of 10.
Tear ducts give issue. I can't use just any tissue.
I was really expecting to hate this on rewatch, but was pleasantly surprised. I thought Hulk was very funny and cool in this movie, and I also liked Thor, which is a high honor to actually get me to say. He's fat, he's pathetic, he plays Fortnite, that's all awesome. Iron Man is always pretty good, but it's a lot more noticeable here. That scene when he's all skinny and pissed from being back in space was super good, and he's genuinely perfect for the role and was killing it. Tony solving time travel is pretty stupid, but I mean, in Iron Man 2, he created an element that saves his life in one afternoon, so I mean, this is kind of just nothing new. And I think Captain America's ending was actually very sweet. I genuinely had to hold back my tears. Because it fucking sucked, dude. Captain America's ending would have been sweet if he wasn't fucking on Peggy's niece right after her funeral. They want you to forget they actually set that plotline up over multiple films because it's weird. Captain America is a sex pervert and I can never look at him the same. And him picking up the hammer, while it was cool at first, on rewatch is kinda low-key corny. Like, what changed? He was always pretty heroic to a kind of weird degree. The only thing different is that he had sex with Peggy's niece. The scene is still good, just with the added context, it doesn't really hit quite the same. And, wait a minute. If you need to have sex with Peggy's niece to wield Thor's hammer, wait a second, Vision, you dirty dog! You dirty dog! I think Wanda might have some choice words for you, pal. Hawkeye is committing hate crimes in Japan because his family died. Okay. Is this going to be brought up again? No? Oh, okay. Any consequences for this? No? Oh, okay. You can say he's only killing bad guys, but the film never shows this, so I'm gonna believe what I want. I've seen a lot of people complaining that the Thanos in this movie isn't him from Infinity War, but honestly, that didn't really bother me a whole lot. It's still Thanos, he's still dope as hell, and he basically watched Infinity War from Nebula's pirated copy in her eye, so he's all caught up on what happened. It's basically the same dude, but I will say he's written a lot more poorly here. Captain Marvel is such a pointless inclusion. She's so OP, yet Tony has to sacrifice himself to save the day. What are you even here for? And why is it relevant to watch her movie? Even if she did beat Thanos, it'd be lame too. So it's kind of a lose-lose no matter what.
I like that.
And Strange really telling Tony to kill himself with the one finger up. Remember, Tony, there's only one timeline we win. Kill yourself, bro. Trust. You're actually telling me there's no universe Captain Marvel does anything of value? Come on. Overall, with the cards they were dealt, I think they stuck the landing pretty well, and I enjoyed the film. Is it perfect? No, not even close. This scene is poop, and this one is pee, and this one is cum, and this one is boogers. And after watching all the movies in order, I gotta say, skipping like half of it makes it more enjoyable. So in a way, I guess you could say I kinda agree with Thanos. And of course with time travel, there's like a million things to talk about and criticize, but I actually do not care at all. These two videos are much better than mine, so you should check them out as well. They cover why time travel is dumb and other stuff, and are just pretty good. This one is a 6 out of 10. So what did I learn from this? I don't know, nothing. The absolute cinema guy was right when he said these Marvel movies are a disgrace, and if you enjoy them, you are a brainless ape. Like, I kind of knew all along. Obviously, that's not to say I hated all the movies. I liked a couple individually, but as a complete storyline, it's so inconsistent and messy, and I think that's largely due to the fact they have multiple writers course of these movies, leaving some characters feeling inconsistent. The best and most clear example of this is Hulk. No one knew what to do with him, and his characterization is all over the place. First movie and half of the Avengers, he's like this miserable, uncontrollable guy, then turned into essentially a Pokemon. But they still want to keep the edge later, but it doesn't really make any sense because he's shown to have full control, so they just ship him out for a minute, only for him to come back as a complete joke. Another example is that Iron Man 3 immediately gets retconned in the next movie. I'm not going to yap about it though, because my throat is so sore from all this talking. Can I get some water? Can someone please give me some water? I need water! I just feel as though the Marvel formula is just spammed too much and the movies are played super safe. I mean, with the amount of money that goes into making these movies, I can see why that's the case. The budgets for all these films combined could probably solve all worldly problems, but instead they use the money on movies with the most broad appeal, which kind of removes the art aspects of film a little bit for me. I mean, even my thoughts on these movies get repetitive because a lot of the films feel as though they're just checking the same boxes on a checklist to be as passable as possible, to sell more toys, and to build up to the next bigger and betterer movie. So when I see people saying they miss the MCU, I feel as though they're mostly probably talking about it as an event and not as the films themselves. I may continue watching the movies after Endgame. I'm quite curious as to why the MCU is so hated now, even by fans. I mean, I feel like it can't be that bad. In conclusion, I had fun watching most of the movies, even if for the most part they're kind of garbage. Smash like and subscribe. I'll probably make more videos maybe. That's about it. See ya.